It was an absolutely gorgeous fall morning, perfect for making the drive to DuBois for lunch with good friends. The traffic was light on Route 80. There were no slowdowns in the construction zones. It was good. However, I did notice as I got closer to DuBois that traffic moving west was moving kind of slow. And so, after a delightful lunch with old friends, I decided I better check the GPS to see if there were backups. And sure enough, my 45-minute drive over was going to take me an hour and a half if I took 80 back home. It would be the same time if I took an alternative route. I was debating that anyway because it was a much prettier road anyhow. And there appeared to be no construction. A little extra time like that suited me well. I had nothing else to do that day. And so off I went. Well, I didn't get terribly far before I discovered the orange season. Yeah, there was construction. I sat there for about 15-20 minutes, waiting my turn for the one-lane road. It was frustrating, but what the heck? It's the orange season. What could I expect? I got a little farther once I got out of the zone. Was doing quite well, zipping along, when I came up upon a super load going about 3 miles up the hills and down the hills and around the curves. It was just not my day, I guess. I finally got into town, decided I'd stop at Walmart before I went home, picked up a few things and was loading them in the Jeep when this woman, whom I sort of recognized from town but had no clue who she really was, stopped me and said, "If you're planning on going into town, take a different route. There's been a terrible accident on Fifth Avenue. You won't get through." And so I did. And so 3 hours after I left DuBois, I got home. Tired, but okay. Especially since I learned later that evening that awful crash on Fifth Avenue included 2 fatalities. And I realized that if any one of those moments didn't happen the way they did, and I had gotten home at any other time, it could have been me. I missed the accident by minutes at best. And I found that to be true so often. That in those moments where things don't go the way you've planned, sometimes they're life-saving. Sometimes, not just the circumstances, but the opportunity to think, to ponder. The scriptures are written in the orange season. If you follow God's people from Genesis to Revelation, it's a weird journey of starts and stops, of detours, of plans gone awry, of bungling. But in all of those, there is an opportunity for the individuals or the people to take assessment of their situation, to learn a little bit more about themselves, the world, and even God. And so, in this orange season of shutdowns and detours, rerouting, new roads, unfamiliar roads, stopping and starting, reconstructions, new patterns. With all of the frustrations that come with it, I invite you to take a moment and instead of working yourself up into a lather, ask the question, what might I learn in this moment? What might God be saying to me, to us, as life takes a weird turn in this wonderful season of orange? Have fun with it.